Hey guys, I'm really excited to announce that registration is now open for the Self Storage Summit. So go to theselfstoragesummit.com. So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self Storage Show.
If you got some, everybody knows that it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
Gotta love Huey. I'll fight you if you don't like it. All right. I don't know. It's a Friday. Why not? Who cares? How's everybody doing? Let's make sure we're somewhat centered here. It's one of those days I need my coffee. I'm dragging. All right. Yes, got a few people on live. Again, know a lot of people listen to this later on. That is fabulous. Also use this for for the podcast as well. So that goes out to hundreds of people, later today and tomorrow. So that's all good, but it's all right. Hey, there was the tie-in. Anyway, so just kind of keeping along with the flow of things. I'm coming on and saying hi for a few minutes each day. So all's good. Thanks for joining me here. Today, it just kind of struck me as far as I was driving my 16-year-old daughter to school. It pains me to say 16-year-old daughter, but bringing her to school today. I do that on Fridays. That's our Friday routine. I'll drop her off to school. Whole bus reasons, things like that. Don't worry about that part. But it's kind of routine. Same thing with my other two kids. We have our morning routines, and of course our after-school routines, and of course the evening routines and all that. And of course we have it for work and our work schedule, and what kind of routine that we're doing with that as well. And just, it got me thinking as far as routines and schedules, want to put it that way, when it comes to efficiencies and work. And quite a lot, I'm exposed to, owners that are in all different, just all different realms of in their storage life, whether they're getting brand new into it, they've been around for a long time, or they're looking to hire assistants or looking for a new manager, and then what kind of systems in place, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it just depends on where you're at, in your career, and what you already have set up and what you don't have set up, or how long you've actually been in the same old routine. That's the way we've always done it, kind of a thing. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. I've had a few recent conversations about change with some owners on changes and things, on what they should do and how they do it. And again, I'm always, a lot of times in my role, I give my 2 cents, and it's up to you if you want to take it or tell me, yeah, cool, thanks a lot, have a nice day. I'm going to keep doing the same things I'm doing now. So that's all I can do, is just, give my 2 cents worth here. Cool. Oh, there we are. Don't give me I'm just reading the comments. Don't give me a heart attack like that, Phil. Can't hear me. That's my worst nightmares. Starting, no one can hear me because I clicked the wrong button, but it was you. It was your fault. So, all right, good. We're okay then, as long as you can hear me. So, as I started, I was thinking as far as, routines and just having a good schedule when it comes to, especially kind of on the manager front. This also works for, of course, district managers, people that are, overseeing sites. I see it more of an issue with kind of the mom and pop, one place operations, where they're just kind of throwing crap together, and seeing what works. Usually the more sites like a site is overseen, district managers overseeing, well, comes to play that they're kind of building those systems and those efficiencies in just because they add a necessity, because they pretty much have to, just to keep things rolling. But a lot of the mom and pop independent sites is just kind of, I hate to say it, it's just kind of hit and miss, for a lot of things. And first thing that pops to my mind is, this came up not too long ago, was lien schedules, doing your auctions. And man, that's just one place that you really have to be focused on your on your schedule, of really keeping consistent. And what do I mean by that is this, of course, your collections. We all hate it, but you got to do it. People are going to be late. That's just name of the game. It's just so collections. I think now, man, you guys, you youngins out there, you got it made with a lot of the technology out there. It's a lot of it can be automated. With the email blasts that are going out, the text messages that are going out saying, "Hey, you want to pay your unit? Let's go into auction." It helps out tremendously because we all know, back in the day, we had to call everybody and all that, and for a fact, if they owe you money, they just get in line. They probably owe a lot of other people money, so they're dodging the phone calls, and it kind of seems like a waste of time. And man, so a lot of the stuff you have available now to help utilize getting people to pay on their late units, it helps a lot. I've seen on all sides. It helps getting that delinquencies down. Just the way we have things now. So with your automated emails and text, fantastic. So that helps with your efficiencies quite a lot. But as far as like having a schedule and what comes to play, that is really comes down to when are you cutting and processing those units for auction, and when are you actually having your auction. That's what I see so often. Just making sure we're all good here. Can't hear me. Okay. Just want to double check something. Okay, we're good. Sorry. I was just talking with a local gentleman here, and he's had a storage unit for a long time, storage facility for a long time, and it never fails. He'll call me like once a year and be like, "Hey, I think it might be that time for an auction." I'm like, I don't do that anymore. Previous life, I had an auction company. Back then, I had a storage war days and all that. I had my own auction company, so I would cut and process, and I would do the auctions. I would do that every other week, kind of a thing. One week I would cut and process. Next week I would have an auction. Now I do that for quite a few locations. I actually did for all the U-Hauls and Extra Spaces and a bunch of them mom and pop type places here in Utah. So anyway, I really had that dialed in. Anyway, this guy called me. He's like, "Yeah, time for an auction." I'm like, wait, you haven't done an auction since last time I did it? And I was like, I don't know, a year and a half ago? It's like, yeah, it's time. I'm like, dude, I'm done. See ya, retired. I'll give it to someone else that can help you out with that, but it's not worth the time anymore. And I said, well, send me your manager. Send me take a look and see what we're dealing with here. And he sent it to me because I was going to give him a quick little step-by-step. I've done it before, but another step-by-step play of please just follow this game plan. It'll help you out so much. And anyway, I about fell off my chair when I saw how many units that he had, not just over 30 days, but there were some that were year and a half old because they just timed it right when after the last auction didn't start paying since then. They were that old. And I guarantee you, people that wait that long for auctions, 10% of those units are vacant anyway. People that they leave out of habit or I have no idea what, they'll put their own lock back on and they locked up a vacant unit. And now they're not returning your phone calls and they're gone. And now you just have a unit that's just sitting there eating up your cash flow because you can't rent that unit because you haven't processed the unit for auction. You haven't cut the lock off to realize it's a vacant unit. And I see that so often. So for that fact alone, really, when it comes down to scheduling your auctions, just being consistent with that, man, just that alone helps realize those units that are, man, I can actually, okay, they're out of here. For whatever reason, they didn't even write notice, so they're vacant. They just locked it back up. That sucks, but let's move on. Let's go. Let's get that unit re-rented. The longer you wait, the longer it's just sitting there eating up your cash. So fact number one right there is just making sure you're cutting your locks and you're processing your units in a timely manner. I would suggest, personally, it's like cut 1 month, next month have an auction. Next month, cut and process, next month have an auction. So every other month, you're having an auction. And I will hear this is another one of those efficiency tips here, but back in the day, again, with live auctions, you used to be able to justify that, man, I'm going to wait till I get at least, I don't know, 5-6 units that are ready for auction. Then I'll schedule a live auction. Well, meanwhile, you're sitting there trying to justify to get enough units to justify people to actually come to your facility, because no one's going to show up if you only have 1 or 2 units listed. Okay, so they're waiting to have enough units to list to actually justify having a live auction. Well, meanwhile, that's just, again, those units are just eating up your cash flow, because we all know that most people, once they get to that certain point, they're not going to pay. If it's not worth them paying a couple months rent, a few $100 on their unit, well, it's probably not the best stuff in the world anyway. It's really kind of what it boils down to. So if it's not worth it for them to pay on it, you're not going to get that much in the storage auction anyway. So just be efficient, and keeping this going. At least that's how I justify it in my own mind. So now with online auctions, it's fantastic. Doesn't matter if you have 1 unit, 2 units, 3, whatever. Just be consistent, and whatever units you have that fit those parameters of when you have that scheduled auction, live auction, you put it in. If it's 1 unit, cool. Just being consistent that way. So there's one routine. So I'll bring it back. Routine / schedule to have. So I would just map it down on a good old calendar right now and just say, okay, on, first Monday of every month, I'm cutting. And maybe, first Monday of every other, the other month, I'm having an auction or whatever, but just keeping it consistent that way. Mark it down, put it in your schedule, because otherwise you'd be like, I'll do it next week. Next week is good. This week's, I'm tired. I'll do it later. Well, smash cut to 6 months later, you haven't done an auction or anything. Like, oh, oops. And soon it means now you're having all those units that haven't been paid, and it's just not good. So just being consistent, doesn't matter how many units you have that meet those parameters when you're cutting locks and processing, and when you're actually selling them, just put it in. So I'll get off my soapbox on that one. This kind of goes down to having schedule, routine, and that really comes down to maintenance. Again, a lot of the mom and pop places and managers, you wear all the hats. You're the manager. You are answering the calls. You are cleaning the units. You're cleaning the facility. You're managing yourself. You got to do a lot that way. So again, it's one of those kind of things where it comes down to routine maintenance and cleaning the facility that sometimes it gets put off. I see it. I go and do audits and doing a secret shopper thing that I do sometimes for locations and sites. You can tell when you walk up to a city, like, oh, it's been a while since they, little tender loving care. Hey, they haven't. Weeds been there for a good 3 months. And you can just tell. So another great thing to put in your little honey to do schedule is just really having a good cleaning and maintenance time, whether that be on a Friday morning kind of a thing. That's when you're going to be going through. If you start trying to say, I'm going to do it every single day, great, kudos. Love the effort, but I know for a fact it doesn't happen every day. It just doesn't. So a lot of times you say, okay, this is the day I'm going to do a good walkthrough with the cleaning and cleaning the doors and blah, 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 and just my regular routine of cleaning. Well, there's those days. If you're lucky enough to have a maintenance guy that does that kind of stuff, sweet. Again, just having a schedule of, these are the days that's, for all the vacant units, you're going to clean those, or this is the time you're going to have, clean that side of your doors, or when it comes down to seasonal maintenance, fantastic. It's another great thing to have on your schedules, and seasonal maintenance duties with your swamp coolers or what have you, when you're going to be doing that, because time flies, everything sneaks up on you. If you don't have these things written down and you're consistent with actually going through what you're supposed to be doing, man, you'll just blink and like, oh, I should have done that 3 months ago. Oops. Yeah, I do that with my own air filters here in my house. It's like, I'm like, crap, I don't put it in my own calendar. I always forget it. The next thing I know is like going to start a house fire because I haven't changed my air filter in 6 months. So yeah, kind of important. I wonder if I can try to find a resource. I know those, like the Self-Storage Association, I believe there's some resources on there that will give like a good timelines for some maintenance items as well. Shameless plug if you want to go to, let's see if I have it here. I do. See, I'm learning this. Go to the not the, it's this selfstoragecommunity.com. That's my Facebook group. In there, you join that. If you go to the units section, I do have kind of a schedule as far as, there's some maintenance duties and also like an audit, which I'll get in. Let's talk about that next. It's a great auditing form. And just kind of going through this, I don't know what it is, 13 pages of like a self-audit. As you go through that, just go through that, you'll be like, oh, I got to do that. And you can start making your own little schedule and your own calendar based off kind of doing this self-audit. I think that's a great way to do it. And it's one thing for me to just tell you, do it these days, but kind of make it your own. Going through this self-audit checklist is what it really boils down to. And then start placing dates and efficiency in the schedule around those items that you'll see as you go through this audit. And you'll be heads and shoulders above what you were just, a week ago if you just do that. And it'll take you 30 minutes, quite frankly. So cool little plug. Selfstoragecommunity.com. It's a Facebook group. Go to it real quick. I'll grant you access, and you'll go to units section. I think I have that as well here. Let's see if I got that. Yeah, I'll just do it there. But yeah, go to units. You'll see all the items there, specifically under the audit section, and you can find that there. So let's do that up. So yeah, going back to for the auditing, that would be a great thing to go to. Like I said, there's all different aspects. It talks about your lean processes. It talks about, of course, your cleaning and your maintenance, and then what kind of marketing you're doing. You can set a schedule around, kind of marketing when you're doing your guerrilla marketing, when you're going around talking to your competition and getting competition alliances set up. Talk about that next week. I think that's a good topic to get into as well as some of the marketing ideas. Like I said, I could sit here all day probably and go on for 12 hours and just talk all day long. And you don't want to hear that, and neither do I, but I could and just go into everything at once. But I'd rather do these kind of bite-sized little sessions each day. Gives me an excuse to say hi and pop in and give a little bits here and there. And then hopefully the idea is each day you'll implement kind of what we're talking about and utilize that little little action item we talk about. And then the next day we'll pop on and do something else, and you implement on that, and it kind of starts building upon itself. Okay, that's kind of the grand scheme of things here. So that's for today. I think we'll wrap it up there. Again, it just comes down to the importance of having efficiency on a schedule, being consistent, and that comes into play with, really, I would just say go back to selfstoragecommunity.com. You'll find an audit form, download that sucker, and just have it in front of you, print it off, and just start making notes next to the items. Like, when am I going to do this as far as part of my daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly routine? I can kind of fit everything in those kind of categories. Break it out, make yourself a schedule, and voila, you've got something that you didn't have before, and it'd be a lot better off for having that. So let's wrap this up. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Hopefully I survive the weekend and I have my two youngest is, I have I think for a second, 11-year-old and 8-year-old. And of course my 16-year-old I talked about first, but she doesn't want to go. I'm taking my two youngest to the Kiss concert. I've always loved Kiss since I was a kid. So bring my two youngest to the Kiss concert before they call it a day and retire. Well, maybe they'll do another farewell tour in 10 years, but who knows. But taking that tomorrow. So if I survive that, I'll be back on Monday. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope you're enjoying this. Give me a comment, whatever. I appreciate that. And I will see you all on Monday. All right. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for supporting the show. I want to let you know that we've just opened up our brand new free private Facebook group. There I'll be having some extra special content not found anywhere else. If you really want your facility to be a success in today's market, then this is going to be the place for you. You can request to join us at selfstoragecommunity.com or search for Self Storage Domination Community on Facebook.